What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
With the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again.
All praises, Most High, Captain Erel. We have another 15 minutes with the captain. Today's class is Your Wealth is Your Wisdom. Your wealth is your wisdom. We're going to start out in Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
So wisdom being the principal thing, being the most important thing that we have to do. Read.
Therefore get wisdom.
Come on.
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
So it doesn't matter how much wisdom, it doesn't matter how much street wisdom you get, or how much street cred you got, or how well you're known. You're supposed to be working towards getting the wisdom of righteousness, getting the wisdom out of this Bible, squeezing the juice out of this thing in order for you to walk a correct walk, in order for you to do the things that the Bible tells us to do. Read.
Exalt her, and she shall promote thee.
So it talks about wisdom in the feminine sense, but it's still talking about wisdom. It says exalt her. Exalt wisdom. Make that the principal thing that you deal with. Read.
She shall bring thee to honor.
She shall bring you to honor. When somebody says your name, they're supposed to say this is a wise and understanding people. When he looks at how we move, it says these people are wise people. When you move as an individual, yeah, that brother move with wisdom. That brother has a certain level of class to him that everybody around him might not have, because they don't have the same level of wisdom he has. Read.
She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her.
So when you embrace wisdom, when you start doing the things that the Bible says to do, which is the commandments, when you start keeping the commandments, wisdom becomes your crown. When you walk with your head up, that's wisdom on top of your head, and everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. Some people are ashamed but behind all the wisdom that they don't have. That's what but we have to work towards it. As coming into the truth as a newborn babe, you're not going to have much wisdom. Not in the Bible, you're not. You might be wise to do evil. You might be wise in that, but that's not the wisdom. That's not the wealth of wisdom. We're working towards actually a treasure, the kingdom. Drop that. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12.
Come on.
For wisdom is a defense.
It's a what?
Is a defense.
So wisdom defends you. Wisdom, knowing what you can do and what you shouldn't be doing, that's wisdom. When you are unwise, when you're young, you run in the streets, there's no wisdom in that. Oftentimes you're wise to do evil, and guess what happens? Evil. But when you are wise in God's commandments and doing what it says to do, everybody sees that thing. That's a crown of glory. Read.
And money is a defense.
And money is a defense.
But the excellency
it says, but the excellency, read,
of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
So wisdom is what gives us life, the commandments. As we grow in this truth, wisdom should increase. Give me 2 Chronicles and chapter 1 and verse 7.
2 Chronicles chapter 1 and verse 7.
I'm looking at it and still said 1 Chronicles. Read.
And that night did God appear unto Solomon.
Come on.
And said unto him, ask what I shall give thee.
Mm-hmm.
And Solomon said unto God, thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord God, let thy promise unto David my father be established. For thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude.
So it says like the dust of the earth. Israelites scattered all over the world. He says that you've put me over them because you made a promise to my father. Read.
Give me now wisdom and knowledge.
So what did he ask for?
Give me now wisdom and knowledge,
Read.
that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy so people that is so great?
So who can do that without wisdom? How can you make these decisions, or how can you judge a people if you're not a wise judge? If you're not dealing with wisdom, you can't. You can't. You will be like the youth. You will make rash decisions. You will do things that's unbecoming of a ruler. And that's the same thing. You're a ruler over your house. You have to deal with wisdom. You have to ask for that thing from the Most High God. And you have to be able to receive it when he gives it to you. Read.
And God said to Solomon,
What did God say to Solomon?
because this was in thine heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor.
So he said, because you're not a Negro about it, because you asked for something that's honorable. Remember, we said that wisdom is a crown of glory. So he asked for that crown of glory. He says, I will give, because you didn't ask me for Negro type things, I'm gonna deal with you righteously. Read.
Nor the life of thine enemies, neither yet hast thou asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself.
Read.
That thou mayest judge my people, over whom I have made thee king.
So imagine that. Imagine us in today's society saying, you know what? I don't want the wealth of the world. I don't need that. I just want to be wise enough to be able to judge my people, to go out and teach my people. That's when we ask for wisdom. That's what you're supposed to be asking for. Not Bentleys, not platinum chains, big cars. All those things are going to burn. This world is going to burn and everything in it. The only thing that they can't take from you is your wisdom. They can take everything. They take your cars. They take your house. They take your bank accounts. Matter of fact, Kyrie Irving and you can get that, but they can't take your wisdom away from you. Read.
Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee.
He granted it to him. He says, everything that you've asked me for, I'm going to give it to you. And what did he ask for? He asked for wisdom and knowledge in order for him to be a priest and a king to this people. Read.
And I will give thee riches and wealth and honor.
So why did he say that? He said, because you asked me the chief thing of life, I will give you all those things because you asked me for the most important thing first. That you weren't being greedy. You asked me for what you needed in order for you to rule my people. Read.
Such as none of the kings have had, and they have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like.
So it says that basically because you've asked me this thing, because you've asked me for this chief thing, not only am I going to give it to you, but it will be nobody before you or will it be anybody after you that will be as wise as I will make you, Solomon. Because that time, our people needed a king. Our people, same way now. When we ask for wisdom and we ask for knowledge of this Bible, we go out and I plan on teaching our people. We plan on teaching our people. We sitting at the table. We teaching our people. We using what? We using wisdom and knowledge. Drop that. Give me Proverbs 30 and verse 8.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8.
Come on.
Remove far from me vanity and lies.
And this is Solomon. Read.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Read.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
So give me just enough. Give me what I need. Read.
Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord?
So you say, because you give me all these things, I hit the lotto. I hit the mega millions. I got $65 million in the bank. Because who is the Lord? Who is this person that gave me these riches? You'll forget him because he's giving you too much. He's not giving you the chief thing. But the devil gives you gifts all the time. That's not wisdom. Read.
Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain.
So he says, because he gave you this wisdom, I don't need all the other things. I got the chief thing. I got the principal thing. That's our wealth. That's what we put out. That's what we're supposed to be putting our money into. When I say money, I'm talking about our equity, our sweat. We're supposed to be putting our time into getting wisdom. Drop that. Give me Sirach chapter 29. And verse 11.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 and verse 11.
Come on.
Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High.
So lay up your treasures, your knowledge and your understanding and your wisdom, your chief thing. Read. And
it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
So he compared it to gold again. So it's still talking about the same riches. There's a difference between the worldly riches, and then here's your righteous richness. Here's your crown of glory, your wisdom. Give me, drop that. Give me, stay in, no, don't drop it. Jump down to 21. Jump down to 21.
Verse 21.
Read.
The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing,
Read.
and a house to cover shame.
So those are the basic necessities. We all need those things. Read.
Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage
Come on.
than delicate fare in another man's house.
So it's better for you to be poor. It's better for you to just get by than for you to be out here doing foolishness, trying to get, get quick rich schemes and Ponzi schemes and all those things. There's no wisdom in that. You still getting caught in Ponzi schemes. There is no such thing as a quick dollar. The Most High says the chief thing in life, which you're really supposed to be working on, is getting this wisdom, getting these commandments under your belt, understanding what it's saying and doing what it says to do. Drop that. Give me Matthew chapter 19. Let's read about somebody that says, well, I do all those things, like many of you do. Let's see if your wisdom matches this young man's wisdom. Matthew, you know what I want, 16.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 16.
Come on.
And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Read.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God.
So first, right off the bat, you see that with the fair speech. He tried to hit him with the okie doke. Christ called him out right there on the spot. Don't call me good. There's only one good. That's the Most High. Read.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
So he says, he gave him stipulation. If you want the kingdom, you want to make it into the kingdom, keep the commandments. Now it wasn't no comment. What's after that?
A period.
A period. There was no side conversation. Keep the commandments, and you can get everything that you're asking me for. Read.
He said unto him, Which? Jesus said, Thou shalt do no murder.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Read.
Thou shalt not steal.
Read.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Come on.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
So he's reading the commandments to him. Read.
And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Come on.
The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up.
So he says, you know what? I keep all those commandments, Christ. I keep all those commandments. I'm tight. I'm sealed. Read.
What lack I yet?
So he asked the question. Read the answer.
Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect.
It says, if you want to be perfect, meaning that you aren't keeping all the commandments, meaning you're not doing everything that you think you're doing, meaning your wisdom is lacking. Read.
Go and sell that thou hast.
Come on.
And give to the poor.
So he says, you know what? Charity is your problem. Go sell what you have and go give it to the poor. And then come back to me. Read.
And thou shalt have treasure in heaven.
So he says, you'll have treasure in heaven. Your wisdom will be your treasure. Your kingdom is waiting on you. All you have to do is do that one thing. Read.
And come and follow me.
Come on.
But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful.
He was lacking wisdom. He was lacking wisdom. He gave him the answer key. He said, all you have to do is show me your charity and you can get the kingdom. But because he didn't have that wisdom, because he didn't have that understanding, he walked away bitter. Some of you walk away bitter. Some of you understand, I do all those things. I wear my fringes. I don't eat pork. I don't party on the Sabbath. But you lack the charity. You lack how you're supposed to move with your brothers and sisters. Those things are important as well. All of those are commandments. And because you don't keep those, you're basically walking in the same footsteps the young man is walking in. And then you get bitter. And then you walk away upset. The same way he did. You walk away upset. Upset about what? The answer key, it says it plain. If you love me, keep the commandments. Meaning that you don't truly love him. Meaning that your wisdom is lacking. You don't have that treasure yet. That crown is still dull on your head. Read.
He went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions.
So that great possession, that covetousness, that's the thing that we struggle with. We struggle with as Israel because Esau has put that spirit on you. Esau makes you think that the treasure that you should be hunting or the treasure you should be fighting for is how many zeros and commas you can put in your bank account. But guess what? When you die, all of that goes away. You can't take any of that with you. But your wisdom gets passed on. Your wisdom, your words, your actions, the things that you've done, the crown that you've built up, that's the wisdom that the world's going to see. When somebody mentions your name, they're talking about you with a crown on your head. That wisdom is what they see. Money can't buy wisdom. Salvation cannot be bought with money. Money cannot provide us with security. Money tends to give the rich a false sense of security. All of those things are covetous ways because your wisdom is lacking. And because your wisdom lacks, you can't get the kingdom. Or you have to continue to fight to get over those things. That's what this is about. It's a fight. We are fighting for that wealth. The same way you in the world and you out there 9 to 5. Some of you work more for Esau than you'll ever work for the Most High God. You put in 80 hours in a week because you want that wealth. You want that worldly wealth. And because you want that worldly wealth, you're always going to be lacking wisdom. Jump to James. James 1, verse 5.
James chapter 1 and verse 5.
Come on.
If any of you lack wisdom.
If you lack what?
Wisdom.
So it says, if you lack the wisdom, read.
Let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
So when you pray, the same way Solomon asked for it. King Solomon asked for the same thing that you're supposed to be asking for. Make me a righteous king. Make me a righteous ruler. Give me that wisdom so I can walk out and I can do those things that are pleasing unto you, the Most High God. But until you start doing that, you're going to be just like the other kings that didn't ask for those things, and the Most High didn't give them that. That's why Solomon was above all of them, because that's the only thing he asked for, and the Most High gave him that plus the things that the other kings was asking for. Read.
But let him ask in faith.
Let him ask in what?
Faith.
Read.
Nothing wavering.
So you can't ask because you're trying. It's not I need this so I can get to that. No, you're asking for it so you can be above all. You can get that principal thing. So you can get that wisdom. Read.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
So you get turned every which way, because you don't have that wisdom in order for you to be, it's like a rudder. That's what guides you. If you don't have a rudder, you all over the place. You have no way to steer. Whatever way the wind takes you, that's where you wind up being. That's why you fall into these different doctrines. That's why you window shop, because you don't have a rudder. You don't have the wisdom in order to steer you in a straight line. Drop that. Give me Matthew 6 and verse 19.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19.
Come on.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
So lay not for yourself these 40 hours, these 80 hours, 120 hours for some of y'all. You work, you'll say you don't go to sleep because you're trying to get the kingdom of Esau. You can say I'm lying, but then most of you would prove exactly what I'm saying. Read.
Where moth and rust doth corrupt.
So these worldly things, they corrupt. They go away. They burn up. They're made to be burned. That's their purpose. Read.
And where thieves break through and steal.
So you're saying, wait, that same worldly treasure. Read.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Where?
Treasures in heaven.
You think he's talking about a piggy bank? You think it's talking about where you actually Elon Musk and you got Bitcoin? No, it's not talking about that. It's actually talking about that wisdom. It's talking about your works, your deeds. In order for you to build a treasure in heaven, you have to be doing something. Read.
Where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt.
So there's no stealing that. You don't have to worry about getting an antivirus off your computer or doing those things to try to protect your worldly goods. You don't have to worry about that anymore, because when you store that wisdom and your wisdom starts to increase, that's something that you're building in the kingdom that can't be taken away from you by nobody. Read.
And where thieves do not break through and steal.
Come on.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So where your treasure is, if you're nation minded, if you worried about, if you're concerned in building your nation back, that's where your mind's going to be. Your mind is going to be putting in the work in order for that to come to pass. But if you all about worldly goods, that's exactly what you're going to wind up getting. 1 Timothy chapter 6. And verse 17.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17.
Come on.
Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches.
What is uncertain riches? That the riches that corrupt. You worried about how much money you got in the bank account. Those things corrupt. Look at Kyrie Irving. How much money did they take from him? Look at Yee. How much money did they take from him? It's you literally a button push away from being broke. That's the way the system is designed. Everything is digital now. You cannot get away with, you can't get away from Esau. He has his fingers on your neck because you trust in this world. But when you store your treasures in heaven, you start worried about keeping this Bible the way it's supposed to be kept. The commandments being followed perfectly. That's what we saw. That's what we're striving for. Read.
Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
That wisdom, he will give it to you liberally. That he will give you an abundance of wisdom. When you read the Bible, when we go out in the street, young men wrap circles around men that's been in all kind of, the graveyard schools where they teach you how to John 3:16 and you don't know anything past that. Those are you young men with wisdom, developing wisdom. That's what we fight for. Read.
That they do good, that they be rich in good works.
In what kind of works?
In good works.
No, it says mega millions.
In good works.
What was the Georgia Cash 5?
In good works.
The scratch offs?
Good works.
Read.
Ready to distribute, willing to communicate.
Come on.
Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come.
So that wisdom will be against the time to come. In order for you to move correctly, in order for you to move the way the Most High ordained us to move, that wisdom has to be in place. That's a foundation. And everything else you can build on. That's why he gave Solomon wisdom first, and then everything was increased. Read.
That they may lay hold on eternal life.
That's what that young man was lacking, was speaking to Christ. That's what we have to change. We can't be that young man. We have to follow the way the Most High says to do. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will give you that wisdom. Give me Isaiah 33, and we're going to close out. Isaiah 33 and verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6.
Come on.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
It shall be what?
The stability of thy times.
That rudder. If you don't have that, you're tossed to and fro like a ball, like a ship in the waves with no steering. You'll be tossed to and fro. But read it from the top.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Come on.
And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
That's your treasure. And with that, we say shalom.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.
His word